like a bullet train. Moving like the speed of sound. Feet can't keep on the ground.
Welcome back to Girls Night Out on Island TV. We are talking about the film Emancipation starring Will Smith.
I heard it myself. Slaves are free. Sasu. Lincoln. We must get to Lincoln's army. 5 days through this swamp.
There are many ways to die in a swamp.
There are many ways to die here.
I will not be afraid. What can a mere man do to me?
Follow the sound of Lincoln's cannons.
My family is with me forever. I will look in triumph at my enemies.
I really appreciated this film, not just for the history that was involved and clearly the research that went into it, the effort and energy, but I really appreciated the film because of how rich the storyline was with layers, right? And the cinematography. It was a beautiful film. The color grading, everything was really well done. But the layers, it's a story about liberation. It's a story about love. It's a story about resilience. It's a story about history and conflict. It's a story about God, about spirituality. So I feel like it's a film that everyone can get something from. Everyone can find themselves connected to this film beyond just, you know, this narrative of enslavement and liberation, but really into the story of what it means to be human. And I think in this time, in this moment that we're in our global community and this human experience, I feel like a lot of us are looking for something that speaks to something bigger than we are, something bigger than our phones and technology, and bigger than these things that are, you know, maybe impacting us in negative ways. And I think this film is that. It's inspirational, it's powerful, it's beautiful, it's human. And I feel that this is a film that should be given the chance to be seen widespread, especially now during the time of Black History Month, and see how you connect to the film. I think that you will find something that sparks your interest. You'll find something that reminds you of what it means to be part of this larger conversation in the United States and how it extends beyond our borders and into our neighboring nations, especially Haiti. Here at Island TV, we focus on the Caribbean. We talk and weave the stories of how we're all connected. And I'm so proud to see this film, especially because it's one of the first feature films that I've ever seen where Haitian Creole is spoken. And I think that it's really beautiful and powerful to see.
What you see on camera, it's a hard thing to explain, but it set me into a mindset of the seriousness of the material. It's like these environments are talking to me.
This movie looks completely different than any other film about this subject matter, aesthetically and also the journey that Peter went on.
The idea is that in every frame, it's evocative and informative.
Trying to capture the beautiful and the brutal in the landscapes of Louisiana.
It really is an energy. You can really feel it.
Naomi has done a brilliant job of recreating the reality of that time, from building the horse and buggy carts, recreating slave shacks, to building the railroad site, to building the battlefield, on and on and on.
I love Naomi. She's so passionate. You give Naomi a direction, she'll build you the world.
The windmills pump water, which then goes into the cistern, which then feeds the steam cars when they come through. I build in shots, lighting when it's interior. I build in a lot of stuff that the cinematographer can then discover.
He is my slave. In my defense, he has become my salvation.
I am completely motivated by the way that the story is going to be received by the world, but I measure my own success on whether it shoots well.
For me as a cinematographer, I searched for something extraordinarily real. Antoine and I felt that what had been accomplished in the past with color is something we didn't want to repeat. So we looked for a palette that was black and white, yet allowed certain colors to come out of it. So it's not a completely black and white, but it's a heavily desaturated feel, a grittier feel.
The desaturation of the film and the look, that was really critical for capturing the brutality.
Peter's constantly on the run, so his camera is virtually always the same, always in motion. The scenes in which we're shooting Dorian, we slowed it down and we're more stable so that you have the fixture and a more structured background for her in combination with the races taking place between Peter trying to avoid Basil and his men who are hunting him down.
Runner! 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 Runner!
Well, I've always been a history buff. I've always been interested in the origin of things, why things are the way they are.
Francine kept it honest as far as the wardrobe and the look.
There were fabrics back then, they were called Negro cloth, now called Osnaburg. And it is a rough grain, very scratchy. So I like the fabric, but let's get something that is a bit more comfortable. And that's where I really wanted to go with cotton and linen blend. Peter was running from these vicious people who are trying to capture him. To go on that journey with him, we actually had 70 shirts, 70 trousers. All of these things had to have a multiple of 70 with his first outfit.
The first time those iron collars got put onto my neck, it was like comprehension slightly beyond your rational mind, where things come through that you haven't thought about. It was like stuck on my neck for probably 15 minutes. People were running around looking for a key to get it off of my neck, but Peter was being beaten while he had it on his neck.
To see my journey through this industry as a Black woman and a Black American woman, I think my ancestors would be very proud.
Obviously, we still deal with things today, but I think part of healing is trying to find some truth in it. And so that's my journey. That's the journey that all my crew came to join. So hopefully that's what we did.
Moving like the speed of sound. Feet can keep on the ground.
Welcome back. So, where were we? This film it's amazing, right? The making of it, I was really hooked by the richness of the film, the layers, the research that went into it, the cinematography. I feel like it's a really beautiful film, and it's potentially a powerful contributor to the cultural architecture, or the ways in which we're building or rebuilding culture, and understanding the power of film, the power of media to get out a larger message and a narrative that is impactful.
The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can a mere man do to me?
The door is kicked in. Overseers storm inside, seize Peter, who violently resists. I said now, boy! Do not touch me! Scipion moves him to help. Betsy cries. Get back, boy! Sheer chaos.
This was, without question, the hardest film of my entire career. I live in doubt from the moment I say yes to a character until a magic moment. There's a magic moment of comprehension, and you never know when that magic moment is going to show up.
Arrived at the rebel camp still barefoot.
Barefoot, okay. That'll be fine. That'll work.
Great. Okay.
That'll definitely work.
He's tricked out.
I think it's going to be easier for whoever's putting it on. And how's that feel? But we're hoping that will always go over the level lot. And
Go underneath. There you go. Go underneath. Perfect. Get that out of there. Turn the waggle out. Yeah, that's like. Whoa.
It turns off your agency. You don't want to step, you don't want to move, you don't want to look anybody in the face. It's deeply dehumanizing. It's like in the most basic, simple textures of human interaction, you turn it off. You just turn it off, you know? It's gonna be a long, hard summer.
Hair is, I think, is paramount and essential to the character. I'm hoping to create a man who is strong, a man who has integrity, and a man who has had a very rough life, to say the least. The shape has to be flattering, but it has to tell a story that he's never seen any vanity before. He doesn't know vanity.
Pierce Austin, my hairstylist, did such a brilliant job. It's like nobody notices that that's a wig. It's a wig that disappears in the mind of the audience, but it's so critical in delivering the character and, you know, touching that space inside of the audience. How his hair looks is so critical, yet it disappears.
Hair, makeup, and wardrobe is always one of the first thresholds for me to fall into character. You know, once I see myself in the mirror, it transforms your thoughts and feelings. It changes how you walk, changes how I hold my mouth.
The makeup definitely intensifies whatever Peter is experiencing that day. And I have to keep that in mind every day.
Peter coming into the construction camp. It's the first time he arrives to this slave encampment where he's been abducted from his family.
All right, let's clear the set, please. Let's stand by. Picture will be next.
That Confederate war camp is one of the best designed and most accurate sets I've ever been on. all of the sounds, the life of the camp got created. You can feel the pain, you can feel the suffering. It's like the walls are talking to you. It made it that much more difficult to emotionally depict. But as an actor, it was spectacular to be surrounded and immersed in that way.
So it's the same thing with a thin shell on the outside with some color. They should fit. How do they feel? Not bad. And yeah, they always help with dialect anyway, so.
Good to see you. How you doing?
You want to hear the dialogue? Is there,
Yeah, there is
dialogue.
dialogue.
Any others?
Steady yourself. Long day out here.
Steady yourself. Steady yourself. Steady yourself.
Long day out here.
Long day out here. Long day out here.
Weather.
Steady yourself. Long day out here.
The dialect is a major part of the storytelling.
This is just work. Same as you always done.
Peter's dialect is Haitian Creole. Just prior to the Haitian Revolution, the slave owners were escaping and they were coming to America. A huge Haitian contingent came into that Louisiana area. So Haitian French was the best guesstimate of what Peter probably spoke.
I do not know why God shows himself to some people and not to others. But if you do not know him, I will pray for you.
Peter's spirituality was one of the most interesting explorations for me to understand how someone can survive this level of brutality, this level of suffering, and it came down to Peter's faith. You learn all your lines, you learn your dialect, you get your hair, you get your makeup, you rehearse with some of the other actors, you do all of those things, but what could give a person the fortitude and the endurance to be able to sustain with that level of violence and malevolence, and God was the only answer. There's a magical moment when you understand a character in a non-intellectual way. There was an interesting thing in Peter's writings where he had been beaten into a coma and he had been unconscious for months. And when he comes out, he talks about having met God. He heard and cultivated a relationship with God. He felt like he knew God. So he had gone beyond faith into a place that few of us get to visit.
I love working to understand the mindset of that kind of character.
It's not a movie about slavery. It's a movie about freedom and the power of faith combined with love being invincible.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sharlia, your host for tonight with Girls Night Out. You can find me dancing in Little Haiti, and in the meantime, you can find me in the digital landscapes on Instagram at shar.lia. Have a good night. See you next time.
Moving like the speed of sound. Feet can't keep on the ground. Can't stay in one place.